Welcome, guys. Get yourselves in. Welcome, everybody. All right. I'm going to give you guys a minute before I start. Welcome. All right. Get yourselves going. All right. Let's get cracking on then. Okay, guys. So, welcome to our live analysis session. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of, excuse me, Tuesday, the 20th of July, 7th month of the year. So, I'm going to start with Pound USD now. It's been an absolutely brilliant trade. I did close too early. There's another 170 pips missed out on, but we can capture that back in other ways. Now the price has hit the target now, so pound USD has taken these lows, as I said. We've got back into this area of demand. Now I'm not reacting to the price just yet. I can take off this pink line now. We've hit the target perfectly, as I said. So if you caught that trade, well done to you. Let me delete all of this for now. We don't need these lines anymore. Okay, so with pound USD where we are right now, okay, we have a very strong short that's been happening every single day. Now I'm still not touching the market just yet. I want to see how the price behaves, possibly even tomorrow. And of course, on the weekly time frame, I want to see if we're going to have some sort of weekly close beneath this area. This is a key here. So right now, watching the price here, I want to see how the price fares off in this area. Right now, the price is holding at 1.36 on the dot. But if the price does seem to close beneath this area, so now we wouldn't be able to tell this completely because this is a whole week of price action, or 5 days, I should say. So we really wouldn't actually know what the price finally is going to do to a certain degree until next week. Okay, this is why, guys, I know that the sell is quite heavy right now, and it's like you're missing out on money, but you're not really missing out on money. Patience is always the right thing to do. No matter how much I want to jump into this market and take advantage of the sales, I'm not. I'm taking my time with what I'm doing here. I'm making sure that I follow the rules. All right. And the rules are right now that I want to see what happens. If we get a weekly close beneath this area and a return, then I'll be looking to sell. And my targets will be quite far down. My next target will be back down to 1.30, or at least somewhere around there. But for now, we're still good. I'm expecting the price to continue in a bullish direction. I mean, funny enough, the fundamentals of the pound right now are quite strong, but it seems as though the US dollar just seems to have that budding strength at the moment. So on the daily time frame, guys, the price has hit the target, which is here. But again, as I said, I'm not making any movements yet on the price. If I do ever see a reversal, I think we're going to have a very strong one. And this is the sell that we're having right now is not the major trade, guys, by the way. So if you feel like you've missed out on the sell, that's not to worry. The major trade is the long. We want the long on pound USD and on pound Japanese yen. And delete all of this for now. Okay. Now, I wish I stayed in. I really do wish I stayed in, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's happened. It's happened. More money will be made again. At least we took some trades and we got some profit. But I guess sometimes things just happen. So when I'm looking at the market now, I want to see what the price is going to do. Now we've had a good strong drop here. This was a good sell, though. I would say it's a very nice sell to the target. It was a good one. And yesterday provided another really good sell. So it's been a good 2 days of selling, but I'm not reacting yet. I want to observe the price. If I do see a trade today, then I will take it. But for now, I'm not touching pound USD. I want the price to do what it needs to do. Unless there's a very strong sign of a short, then I want to leave it alone. Okay, USD CHF has also followed with a very good long at the moment. The price seems to be pushing heavily long. And at the rate that it's pushing at, I do think that we are going to see another set of long action. How far this is going to go is going to be the question. At the moment, the only thing you could actually do from this point is to probably scalp this long, maybe scalp it from this point up to this point, depending if what stop loss you're going to try to put, but it has to be very small in order for it to work. If not, you're not going to really get much from this. But at the moment, Euro USD looks long. Right now, the market is being controlled by the strength of the dollar. Euro USD is not affected as much as we would expect, but it is still pushing short. We had a good trade here yesterday, and the price has pushed short from there. And I expect it to continue. Now, Euro USD, as I said, this area of demand is failing very much so. I really hate when that happens. And it pulls up every single chart. Where is Euro USD in here? Here we go. So with Euro USD, this is where the price is now. Once the price fails past here, then we should really be looking for a sell right around about here or from here, either one. But with Euro USD, I'll be looking to ride this wave down. And from the looks of things, it looks like we should have an entry on our hands right now. So I'm going to look to sell this probably live. I'm looking for a return to this 5-minute area. That's all we need. Once it returns here, then we can sell. So hopefully the price will give us such. Now, the market is quite technical at the moment. There isn't fundamentals apart from the pound and the US dollar, but there isn't really fundamentals in terms of data news. Today is quite a quiet day, and I will look at the news in a moment. So I'm going to pull it up for you guys to see that. But it's quite a quiet day at the moment. So to be honest, there's no news to really wait for unless there's an update, which is one practice that I always do. I always want to check the news. But I'm looking for an entry here, guys. If I get an entry here, then I'm going to continue selling this until about 1.16. So I'm going to set an alarm somewhere here. It's a bit too close. Give me a bit of time to enter. I'll put it at the bottom of this big red candle here. So if I hear the price pulling back up here, then I can go for a short. Now, this is a very simple trade. You just need an entry here. Stop loss is above this wick, or if you want to put a bit higher, about 7 pips above. And the next target will be the next demand zone here, which will be down to here. So if this is going to go short as I expect, then we should get to 1.16. This is why I'm saying my target is 1.16. The next target would be for us to get a trade from here all the way down here. So another 109 pips. Now, if the price breaks past there again, then it's going to go to the original target. This is 1.14. And 1.1407, that's going to provide us with enough firepower to get a really good trade going. So I'm watching here to see what the price does. We're going to keep the price action. We're going to keep it quite neat. We don't need a large stop loss for this one. And then from there, we can go for the trade that we need to. All right. So let's see what's happening with USD JPY. Okay. So USD JPY has taken a dive short for the meantime. If I go down to where we are on the H4 and on the daily, I'm still observing this low. I want to see how the price reacts right around about here, what the price is doing. I do think that there is a potential long on the way, but I would like to see some good market structure break for me to consider that. But I do see a price action here that could give us a very good long here on USD Japanese yen. Again, USD Japanese yen is not reacting the same to other pairs or how other pairs may react. Okay, it is reacting quite differently. Stretch this along here. It is reacting quite differently. We have had a spike here, but for me, I don't really see the market structure at the moment. But I do know that USD Japanese yen has just offered us a long. So I'm hoping for a few things. I mean, either the price could drop slightly lower down to this area, but really what I'm watching out for is this low right here. I want to see what the price does. At the moment, we haven't had much. I mean, you can see that what's happening with the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen is really holding down any type of advancement on the price at the moment. So I think we're in a good place to say that we can push back and wait for a clearer signal. For now, I wouldn't touch USD JPY. Let's put this here. I wouldn't touch USD JPY for now. The price is in a range today. Although we could see clearly that the US dollar is quite strong compared to every other currency. Japanese yen is going in a range. The range is about 42 pips. Now, if I go to USD CAD, okay, just to show you this as well, or maybe even better than that, let me show you gold. So if you look at gold right now, gold is actually going long instead of short. So what's happening with the US dollar here is highly fundamental. It's not just technical. Okay, we're having strong long activity on gold when if this was just US dollar based, then gold should be going short right now, but yet it's going long. But this is due to inflation and CPI stuff that we've seen, and the price is taking off for that reason. So this is a very interesting and different market from from what you would expect. Okay, this is why I'm taking my time. I haven't reacted to anything. As much as I would like to take some trades, I'm still keeping my eyes peeled. Now, if I see some scalps today, I'll probably be looking around 3 o'clock for some scalps. If there are some scalps today, then I would take them. But for this moment, I can't see any scalp opportunities that are worthwhile. I mean, gold was a good one. I wanted to take a scalp from here. This would have been great. Stop loss would have gone beneath here about 5 pips, or 1.5 to 5 pips would have been great. But for now, gold is pushing forward for a long. All right, let's go back to USD CAD here. So USD CAD has really entered into an area that I've been expecting, or that was the second area I was expecting the price to get into. When we go to the monthly here, it's not the cleanest set of price action, but we do have a good long action going forward. To me, though, I don't think that USD CAD is done shorting. Again, you know, I'm always watching for supply and demand. And to me, we just have a close just beneath this demand zone to me. So I don't believe that the price is fully on the bull side just yet. I know that we're experiencing the strength of the dollar, so we're seeing it. But I do believe that the Canadian dollar is a lot stronger than the US dollar for fundamental reasons and economical factors. But for now, I think we should keep our considerations that, you know, the price needs a good area of, similar to what I said about Euro USD, the price will need a very good area of demand in order for it to make its way, you know, for a long or for a short. So for me, this supply zone right here, which was a very strong cap of the price pushing any further higher, I would expect the price to return in this fashion, something of this sort. And then from here, we can go for a long. This is what my considerations are. And I would like to see how the price behaves from that. So here back on the weekly, where are we? So on the weekly time frame, we have a few supply zones. We have a supply zone here, which was created from the end of is the last week or the week before last of the end of 2020. So this is in December. So this is literally the 20th. So literally the 20th of December, exactly 7 months from the week beginning 20th of December, the prices return here. So to me, I'm expecting a short to happen sooner or later. And how the short was going to play out would be the question. There are many different ways this could go, but I would like to see what happens right here. So I'm going to keep a line right here and watch what happens around this region here, 1.27792. And on the daily here, we have quite a good amount of supply. If I keep this area on and I just cage the price, we have a daily supply zone. Well, there's two. There's one right here and a more recent one a few weeks after, which is where the price has kind of spiked into. So if we get any reversal signature within this area, I'll be looking for a very heavy short. For me, when I look at the price action here, unless we get a break of market structure above about 1.29, to me, all we've really had is just a very strong A to B movement. And we've just had a retracement for C. And sooner or later, we should be looking for the D structure on the way down. So I'm more inclined to look for a short than for a long. I know, opposed to what you would think in a market like this, we should continue going long again. I would like to see a long, and USD CAD is providing a situation that looks really nice to me, but I want to see how the price behaves above this high. So if you're paying attention, 1.28, if we get any reversal signature above this high, then I'll be inclined to go for a short. We're in a huge area of supply at the moment on the weekly time frame, and there is great opportunity for us to really see the price giving us a short. So I'm expecting the price to give us a very strong short on the way back down, and I would be wanting to be in this for the long run. So let's see how USD CAD plays out. USD CAD and gold are my top two focuses. Now pound USD and pound Japanese yen are on the list. Those are my four really that I'm looking at. But at the moment here, we've kind of got into not into a range. I say we're more bullish than bearish on USD CAD, but definitely after this massive spike in the price we saw, we've been in a range for quite a while. So I'm watching really for just above this high. That's all we really need. A reaction there would be all we need for us to be able to find our long. So again, I'm not going to be trading really much today. I might actually find, if I do find a scalp, I'll take it. But if not, I'd rather just keep away and just let the market do what it needs to do. All right, now let's look at AUD USD. Again, it's falling under the weight of the US dollar, which it was going to happen anyway, but we just needed a reason for that to happen. But the price is dropping quite drastically from where it was at 75, we're at 73, and we're approaching towards 70 and 71 and 70. And I'd like to see the price drop further. I do think we are going to see a drop further. And this is the only reason why there may be an opportunity to scalp, depending on what the market provides for us. But we still have to wait and be patient. I wouldn't want to just jump into this market right now because we can clearly see the price is selling off. I don't want to capture a falling knife. I could say the same for NZD-USD. All the US dollar pairs are falling under the weight of what's happening in the market. So I'd rather not. All right, let me switch to some crosses. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Now, right now, I'm just scanning for trades to see what we have. Euro Japanese yen, again, has been dropping very nicely. And this is what I'm saying, that USD JPY is a very different pair. I don't trade it often. I'll only trade it if it has very, very good technical price action. If not, I wouldn't involve myself with it. But Euro JPY right here, this is where we are right here. Euro JPY is still selling off, and I believe it will continue to. So as a scalp, it would be great. I expect the next targets to be beneath these lows at one. So the next 70 or so pips. How we would enter this, if there's an opportunity, there was one in the last 4-hour session here. Looks quite good. Let's see what happened. So the price did give an entry. I mean, if it came back here, for me, I would like to take a sell if it did come back here. If I see the price returning back to this supply zone area here, then I'll be inclined to want to take a sell. And then that would be a nice opportunity to grab something on the way down. I believe that from here, we could possibly get around about 90 pips and even more. But as a trade, I think this is quite a clean and easy one to go for. So I'll be watching for a movement of that nature and pushing short. I expect the price to push short back down on this way. Now, I just want to look at this from the weekly perspective. Now, on the weekly here, I don't see any demand to really hold the price. So there is a chance that Euro JPY could fall even further and even get back down to 1.26, round about here. It is possible. On the daily, if I look to the left, again, the next real demand area is 1.28. And then the lows are here. So I would say that my targets are still the same. At max, about 1.28078. If the price breaks beneath here, then we could see even more shorting. But for now, this is a very easy target to go for. I'm expecting the price to do this in this session. So I put my Fibonacci on. I'm expecting the price to give us a movement here back at OT. So I'm going to leave this here. And from here, I do think we could get a very good shot. I'm going to keep this as a screenshot. Let's continue and see what else we can find. All right. Now, pound USD is absolutely plummeting right now. It's been an amazing drop. I wish that I re-entered after the market opened, but I wasn't wise enough to do so because the real money was this week so far. Last week was more of a struggle week. This week is really where things really have taken off here, and the price is just dropping like crazy. But at least with Euro JPY, there is an opportunity to potentially grab something there. All right. So let's see what's going on with gold. All right. So gold is still pushing long, and maybe we'll be able to catch the scalp that we're looking for. Let's look at pound AUD. All right. Pound AUD is pushing short, but with a lot less aggression. All right. Let's scan through and see if there's anything that we can grab. Again, if there's no trade, guys, then there's no trade. There isn't any point of trying to force a trade when there isn't one, because then you're going to lose money. But if there is a trade, then you want to definitely make sure that you grab the opportunity whilst it's there. Okay, now looking at this market, I wish I stayed into my positions because it would have been a great celebration, but we'll find a way. There's always a way. There's always going to be more trades. Always will. All right, so scanning through these, it seems as though the Canadian dollar pairs are ranging quite much or quite a bit. Pound CAD shows some sign of shorting at the moment. Not the heaviest shorting, but pound CAD has given us, I would say, a very strong spike. Now, I was expecting a spike like this, and when I look at the price action here, there may actually be a very good trade. But it's just that at the moment, to get into pound CAD at this time would probably be a risk. I would rather wait for a market structure to be broken. There is a clear bullish trend. I'm not a trend line trader, but if I was to go, back here, we could see there's clear bullish scenario here. I mean, all across here. So we will need a very good market structure break for us to say that we should be going short. But I'll leave pound CAD where it is. Almost said pound Japanese yen there. All right, NZD CAD still kind of in a range. NZD Swiss franc and New Zealand dollar Japanese yen. Okay, so you can see that the shift or the main crux of where what pairs are affected, we're seeing things on the pound for sure. All right, the euro, and of course the dollar. So these are really where the things are going at the moment. And pound USD is selling off again really strongly. Uh, Again, as I said to you guys, I'm not going to react until I see clean closes. If the price does more, I mean, as I said, I wish I didn't close. But if the price is going to do even more pips, then I would like to take advantage of it. So don't get me wrong. If I do see a good trade that I can take advantage of, then I would want to sell. We've had a very strong 4 hours of just constant selling. But I want to make sure that when I'm looking for opportunities, I don't do it hastily. Otherwise, you definitely will take a loss. For me, USD CAD is slowed down nicely, and that might be the ticket for this week. But we will see sooner or later. All right, I'm still going to hang around until 3 o'clock to see what happens. Um, I'll keep my eyes on gold to see what goes on with it. Gold is really taking a different path from everyone else. So you can't treat gold the same as the other pairs at the moment because gold really should be going short, but it's not. Okay, so this is part of the reason why pair correlation has to be done with great tactfulness. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself trapped in a trade that it hasn't performed as you would want. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, sometimes I do like to go over looking at exotics. The only exotics I look at is USD South African Rand because it has very good technical price action. Or the other that I would look at would be the Euro versus the uh, Turkish lira. Now, the Euro versus the Turkish lira has a very good chance of us having this gap being filled. I've been looking at it for a while. The price has gone through a great journey of getting there. It's just that I guess with exotics, the only hard thing that to stomach sometimes is the price feed. Sometimes the price feed is quite bad, and is bad because the liquidity is a lot lower than it would be on something like Euro USD. You know, it's a lot less liquid. So sometimes there are price action movements that are quite strange to read, and you might have to double reference and look at other charts. But if you just look at this, the euro versus the Turkish lira, I mean, is literally going one way. It's very heavily bullish, and I expect it to continue. But pullbacks are always good, and I do think that we're due for one. And I would like to take advantage of the gap being filled now. At the moment, the price is selling off heavily, but there isn't anything that we could go by to take a trade. So I'm going to leave it alone. What I will do now, let's go over to indices and have a look. So the UK 100 is taking a very strong short dive back down to below 7K, which is where it was. Now, again, as I said to you guys, I still believe that we're going to get along. The UK 100 is probably one of the only indexes or indices that have not gone past its all-time high from the coronavirus period. The all-time high, or the high of the coronavirus period, not the all-time high, is 7,692 point, or let's just call it 7,693. Okay, and for the moment, the price has been struggling to make its way back. If you look at all of the other indices, the Nasdaq has gone very, very far past the high just before the coronavirus period here at 9,000. It's currently almost at double. The Japanese 225 or the Nikkei 225, you can see where we are right here. If I go to the coronavirus period, we're very far above the high before the coronavirus. Germany is the same here. So you can see, guys, if you get the picture, France also. I think the only two that I know of are Spain. Spain has still been struggling to make its way back above the high of the coronavirus period at around 10K. It's dropping back strongly down to about 8,300 or just beneath. All right, and then the UK 100. So either the price is relaunching short to go long, but I have noticed on the UK 100, I'm not oblivious that there are many gaps that need to be filled. So in a situation, in a condition like this, my question would be if the market would take advantage to fill these gaps. Now there's quite a few here, and if you scroll back far enough, you find that there are gaps even back down to 5,410. So it really does depend, what's going on. Fundamentally, we have, a high increase in the COVID cases. Yesterday was the official opening of everything, but again, we'll have to see. Okay, but if I was to take any trade on the UK 100, it would be a short and probably a continuation. My only thing is I don't like to trade indices if I'm not in at the top, and I explain simply why. The UK 100 and other indices have a lot of institutional money, just like other forex pairs do, and there is a lot of market manipulation that takes place, and sometimes the spiking is too volatile and too strong for us to be able to stay into positions halfway through. Okay, so for example here, these strong spikes that you have going along here. Now again, if I was to enter this as a re-entry, then maybe I would have gone from here at the beginning of the day or the beginning of the week here. But aside from that, most of the time, the UK 100 and other pairs are very notorious for spiking. Same, US 30 is probably the worst. Do I have the US 30 here? Okay, yeah, here's the US 30. So US 30, it does have great trades if you're in the right direction at the right time. But if you're not, you could get yourself trapped in trades that you do not want to be in. Actually, the UK 30 hasn't been so bad, but I would definitely say the UK 100 can be a beast of a pair. So I always like to make trading simple. So I'm not going to overcomplicate things by, getting involved in those pairs. All right. But for now, guys, this is what I see in the market. I'll be looking for some scalp opportunities. We're approaching 2 o'clock. The shift in liquidity is coming. So from there, I would like to see how the price behaves. And then we can take it from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right. Everybody, peace out. Take care. Have a good afternoon and evening.